Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Once again, I am aDudeist-Priest and this is aDudeist-Priest Gaming, and today we are doing aDude Reviews Arkham. And we're doing all of the Arkhams, not just one, but the entire series, because, well, Gotham Knights is coming up and I'm starting this new vlog where I do video game reviews, and instead of doing 4 individual ones for one of my favorite series, I'm just going to take about 15 minutes here and do one review for all 4 games. And yes, I am including Arkham Origins. So, let's get this started off here. Let's see, it was 2009. I was coming home from GameStop with a brand new Batman game that I had heard nothing about. All I knew was Mark Hamill was the Joker, Kevin Conroy was the Batman, and it was placed in Arkham Asylum. I was excited. I did not know what to expect, and I had no idea what I was getting ready to fall in love with. And I'll tell you what, Arkham Asylum was one of my absolute favorite video games of all time. So was Arkham City. But let's begin with Arkham Asylum. It had such an amazing feel. The tight corridors mixed in with Joker over the loudspeaker. The isolation of the island itself. The entire environment that you were placed in felt very real. It felt very functional. It felt as though it was a place that Joker could call home, essentially. It was Arkham Asylum. It was everything that I thought and wanted out of that game, and the only thing that I wish it had was the gliding and the fighting from Arkham City. But obviously, that came 2 years later. But no, it is an amazing game, and with every single one of these, if you have not picked them up and played them, I highly recommend doing so. I'm obviously not talking about any of the handhelds or the mobiles or anything like that, but these are the console games, and they're definitely 100% need to be in every gamer's collection if you do not have them. The Easter eggs that are in Arkham Asylum are phenomenally well done. It's as though a lot of them are put on display. A lot of them are very well hidden Easter eggs. And I would say that Riddler was actually more in his prime in Asylum than he was in any of the other games, because there were actual riddles that you needed to solve for essentially scanning objects. He would give you a riddle and you would have to go find what he was talking about and scan it. I liked that aspect of Riddler a lot more than the how do you get past this gate and grab this green glowy statue. I thought that those were the best parts of Riddler, was the original riddles that he would have you go find the answers for. And they included a little bit of that, I feel like, in Arkham City, but they really fell off of that in Arkham Knight and just went straight for the can you get past this and whatnot. But to continue on with Arkham Asylum, one of the greatest parts in this, and I would feel very, very upset with myself if I did not mention Scarecrow. Scarecrow is phenomenally well done in Arkham Asylum. He injects you and with his fear toxin, his compound, and you hallucinate for a moment and go into these very surreal environments in which you're in a hallucination that is capsulated within the Arkham setting. And no spoilers if you have never seen it, but the third Scarecrow hallucination really got me the very first time you play through this game. Everybody gets got by that third one the first time, and it's definitely something that everybody needs to check out. So, moving into Arkham City. Arkham City was phenomenal. As far as I'm concerned, this is the Batman experience. Okay, the story is the best of all 4 stories in the Arkham franchise. Whether you're looking at Asylum, City, Origins, or Night, I believe Arkham City is the best storyline. Arkham Asylum had the best environment. And the reason I say this is because it was written so very well that the side missions felt fluid to the full story itself, so it didn't feel as though the side missions were something that were a complete break off and you had to stop doing the objective at hand, which is whatever that happens to be at your storyline or in your part of the storyline. But it didn't feel like you were breaking off and leaving your quest of being Batman in the moment of the night to go do something else in Arkham City. It felt fluid. It felt like, okay, this has happened. We have to go take care of this. And because it just did a really good job writing it that way. Especially Zaz with his payphones and Deadshot's missions where you're coming out of like say a building, because Deadshot's missions would always happen after you were coming out of a main story building and you were getting either like a call from Oracle or Alfred, and then all of a sudden you'd hear like a shot in the distance, and then that would pop up on your map and there's a shot been here, go investigate. And it didn't feel as though it was taking you away from everything that was going on to go do this side mission. It felt as though, oh shit, that phone's ringing, like Zaz is calling, I gotta go get that because that dude needs to go down. Arkham City was the Batman experience, and there's so many other good Easter eggs in Batman that that people continued to find long and long after its release. It wasn't as good as the original one in Arkham Asylum, where they straight showed you the plans of Arkham City. They say that was there since release, but I don't know, man. They might have just done a little patch real quick and then be like, yeah, that's been in there for 2 years. You guys never found this. I can't believe it. The world may never know. It probably was in there since the beginning. But it's fun to just have conspiracies. Moving to Arkham Origins, the prequel. The prequel was... this is my least favorite Arkham, and it's not because it's not a bad game. Or it's not because it's a bad game, I should say. It's not because it's a bad game. The reason is it took Joker and it made him once again, for the third time in a row, the main villain. And when they advertised it showing Black Mask having hired 10 assassins, and Black Mask has paid these guys a lot of money just to show up, and he's going to pay the victor another sum of the same amount, and so they get double their money. It showed a lot of promise for a very early Batman prior supervillains. And when we got it, of course, we've come to find out that Joker was portraying Black Mask the whole time. Black Mask ended up being a very, very poorly offhanded side character that got shittily dealt a very small church scene, and I was kind of upset about that because I wanted the rest of Gotham to shine without Joker. And if they were gonna put Joker in there, I would what I wanted, what I was hoping, what I feel like the community was hoping was that we would play as Batman going through the vat of acid, drop, whatever you're gonna go with his name, Jack Napier or whatever. We were hoping we'd go through that scene as Batman. He drops in there, and that was part of our night. And then at the end of the game, there's this new villain after all the assassins that comes up, and he's calling himself Joker, and he's got this murderous plot, and you got to go solve that after all these assassins in Black Mask. Or if it comes out at like the last couple of assassins, that there's this new guy Joker, and after you take care of Black Mask, you finally apprehend this new villain that's just over the top. Like, that would have been a more amazing story than what they went with, because I mean, Black Mask should have had his chance to shine as the crime lord in year 1, year 2 Gotham. And Penguin should have had his chance to shine as the gun runner and the drug runner in year 1, year 2 Batman. I just felt like those characters got cheated by Joker because they wanted to go with what they thought would sell, which was Joker. And I love Joker. He's my absolute favorite supervillain. But, give other people a chance to shine, because I was really hoping that we would get a Batman that felt even less powerful, but more detective and more brutish than the Arkham Asylum Batman. Like, I didn't even want like a cryptographer. I wanted like a key lock that you had to lockpick actual key locks, because this was prior to Wayne Industries putting electronic locks on every door in Gotham. I was hoping for a more detective, brutish fighter Batman, because he would have been set in an earlier career path. Whereas we ended up getting a more fluid and powerful Batman than when he was even in Arkham City. And he had gadgets that were pretty much the same, but essentially the same, but just we're calling them different stuff. And then you're going to give us electric gauntlets as well. Like, WB took a very cute baby and slapped it across the face a couple times, and then gave the same baby back and said, it's just as good. Aside from what I just said, the story itself, in the aspect of being the origin point for Joker and the second year for Batman in his story, the game itself wasn't that bad. It had a lot of good boss battles, and I'm not even looking at Deathstroke here, because I honestly think that the Deathstroke boss battle was crap. Absolute crap. And I'm sorry to say that. A lot of people are going to be upset about that, but I thought it was crap. Because honestly, you nailed down a couple of basic moves, and you got Deathstroke. It's nothing. And I think they cheated the Electrocutioner, and aside from that, there was some good boss battles. And then moving into Arkham Knight, the only disappointment that I had was the whole Jason Todd being the Arkham Knight. And aside from that, we're gonna overlook that aspect, and I'm gonna treat it as though he was Red Hood the whole time. The Arkham Knight game was amazing. I don't give a shit what you say about the Batmobile. Sure, it slowed down the pace of the game at some times, and you felt as though like this was too much Batmobile. But to be honest, I loved the Batmobile. They could have maybe taken out 15% of the Batmobile and all of the Riddler's Batmobile shit, and I would have been happy. But really, really well done. It gave us such a variety of side quests to go do. It was a really, really well-written story as far as Scarecrow and Jason Todd working together, and the city itself felt more alive in Arkham Knight than it did in any other city. I mean, it really did feel as though the working class had left and the city had just been overrun by crime and gangs, and like those guys had just been like, yep, we're taking over. I loved it. I absolutely did. And I thought that it was a really good ending to their story. And I can't wait to see what they do with Suicide Squad because it's set in the same universe. And once again, if you guys have never played these series, I highly, highly, highly recommend doing it. Arkham Knight is best for gameplay itself. But you guys take care. Have yourselves a great rest of the day. Peace, love, buds, and we will see you guys next time.